Hello Year 5, Mr. Philpotts here. I have got the pleasure to introduce to you for our new space topic, our new class text. So this is it. Now we're going to have a little go at one of our Viper skills, and that skill today is prediction. So as it's a brand new book, a brand new story, we're going to see if we can have a go at predicting what we think the book might be about and looking for some of the clues on the front cover, within the blurb on the back, and possibly within the first chapter when I read that shortly, to try and guess what's going to happen in the story. So to begin with, if I hold that up to the screen, you can see the book is called Cosmic, and it says, Cosmic, it's one giant leap for all boy kind. So if we're predicting, we're using what we've just read to help us work out what we think is going to happen. So I'm looking at that and thinking, one giant leap for all boy kind. What might that mean to us? Does the giant leap mean that something huge, something monumental is going to happen? Something that's maybe never happened before? The fact that it says for all boy kind, what does that tell us about the character or characters? And in fact, if you look at the picture, you can see a boy with some sort of space helmet, and then behind him, sort of the silhouette of someone significantly bigger, also with a space helmet. So is that boy going to do something pretty spectacular? Or is something spectacular going to happen to him? We'll have to find out. I wonder what you think is going to happen to that boy. We don't even know who that boy is at this point. If we have a look on the back at the blurb, I'll just read that to you. See if that gives us any more clues as well. It says, he wanted to see the world, but not quite like this. Liam Digby is an ordinary 12-year-old. So only a little bit older than you. A very, very tall, and it says tall. I don't know if you can see that in capital letters. I wonder if that's a clue. A very, very tall, ordinary 12-year-old. Some people even think he's a grown-up. This is the incredible story of how he told some fibs, nearly stole a Porsche, went to a theme park, and sort of, by accident, ended up in space. Lots of clues there. I wonder what you think the story is now going to be about. It says everyone thinks he's a grown-up. I wonder what his life must be like if he's only 12, but people treat him like a grown-up. Maybe that provides him with an opportunity to get up to some mischief, because it says he tells a fib. Maybe that means he gets to do things that a normal, ordinary 12-year-old maybe doesn't get to do. So I'm going to pause. If you pause the video at this point, you can maybe jot down or have a discussion with someone nearby about what you think is going to happen to Liam Digby, the ordinary 12-year-old who's very tall. And you could email them in to us if you want. It'd be nice to see your predictions before we start the story. And then in a little while, we can look back once you've read the story to see if you were right. And even if you weren't, that doesn't matter. It's always interesting to see what we think with our predictions. Right, the first chapter is called I Am Not Exactly in the Lake District. And throughout the book, it is Liam speaking, I should say. Okay. Mom, Dad, if you're listening, you know I said I was going to the South Lakeland Outdoor Activity Centre with the school. To be completely honest, I'm not exactly in the Lake District. I'm on this rocket, the infinite possibility. I'm about 200,000 miles above the surface of the Earth. I'm all right, ish. I know I've got some explaining to you. This is me doing it. I lied about my age. I sort of gave the impression I was about 30. Obviously, I'm more sort of 13-ish on my next birthday. To be fair, everyone lies about their age. Adults pretend to be younger. Teenagers pretend to be older. Children wish they were grown-ups. Grown-ups wish they were children. It's not like I had to try very hard, is it? Everyone always thinks I'm older than I really am. just because I'm tall. In St. Joan of Arc Primary, the teachers seemed to think that height and age were the same thing. If you were taller than someone, you must be older than them. If you were tall and you made a mistake, even if it was only your first day, you should know better, big lad like you. Why, by the way? Why should a big lad know better just because he's big? King Kong's a big lad. Would he know the way to the toilet block on his first day at school when no one had told him? No, I don't think he would. Anyway, a few hours back, the infinite possibility was supposed to complete a routine manoeuvre, and basically it didn't. It rolled out of orbit, wrecking all the communication equipment, and now I'm very lost in space. I've brought this mobile phone with me because it's got pictures of home on it. It's also got an audio diary function. That's why I'm talking to you now. Talking makes me feel less lonely. Unless you get this message, you won't know about any of this because this is a secret mission. They said that if it goes wrong, they're going to deny all knowledge of it, and us. There's 5 of us on board, the others are all asleep. Can you believe that, by the way? We're in a rocket, spinning hopelessly out of control and into forever. And what is their chosen course of action? A nap. When we got the manoeuvre just slightly wrong, just slightly enough to make us completely doomed, they all screamed for about an hour. Then they dozed off. I can't sleep. I can't get comfortable in sleeping bags because they're always too small for me. Plus, I think if I stay awake, I might have an idea and save us all. That's why I'm recording this on my Drax phone. If I do get home, I'm going to give it to you, and then you'll understand how I ended up in deep space when I said I was going pond dipping in the Lake District. If you are listening to this, though, and you are not my mom and dad, and you're probably a pointy-headed, 90-legged, sucker-footed alien, in which case, can I just say, hello, I come in peace. And if you happen to have the technology, please post this phone to Mr. and Mrs. Digby, 23 Glenarm Close, Bootle, Liverpool, 22, England, the Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, etc., if it's not too much trouble. So that was the first chapter. We've learnt a little bit about Liam. He's at the beginning of the story, but maybe the end of his timeline. He is stuck in space with other children who apparently are having a nap. So I wonder if you can work out how he's gone from going on a school trip to ending up in space. Think about what we talked about in the blurb. Maybe send your ideas into the Year 5 email address. And as I said before, I really look forward to hearing what you think. And try and use the clues, like his the fact that he looks tall, people think he's a grown-up, to come up with your ideas for your predictions. And then the next chapter, which we'll look at next time, is called Completely Doomed.